welcome to Peter's Principles. As you know, you never know who you're going to see on Peter's Principles, and today we have the honor of having newly renominated State Representative Rady with us. Rady, thanks for coming on the show.
It is an honor to be here.
So my first question is, could you just do a brief biography of yourself and what you're doing and what your day's like and your family and everything?
Well, thank you, Peter. Well, let me start by saying hello to all of the residents that live in the Acre, the Highland. I want to thank you for your vote that got me through the primary. I'm honored, and again, I will ask you for your vote this November 8th. It's coming up for the general election. I would love to continue fighting and doing the work for you. And getting back to, Peter, what you asked me, my day is packed punch. In the morning, I wake up, I brought my 2 kids to high school, and my younger daughter is at the Bailey. And Amelia, my daughter, is first year in high school. Joe is already a sophomore in high school. It's just
They've
wonderful.
grown up in 2 years.
They certainly have. They certainly have. And between doing the work here and doing the work for the district and the Highland, the Acre, I'm honored that we are able to do a lot of stuff. And we have one of the greatest new, which is an historical moment. You know what that is?
What?
The courthouse. This 22nd of September, shovel will be in the ground, and I'm honored to work with the entire delegation, Senator Donahue, Representative Golden, Representative Nangle, and myself. We finally put this together, and remember that component was not one day. This is also going back to Senator Pengiatakis and also former Representative Kevin Murphy, who is now our city manager. They've all been working on this. And I'm just honored that we finally make this a reality. It's going to be a landmark that will bring jobs to the district and to all of the people who live here. We're talking about $200 million project here. So that is creating a lot of jobs right here in the local. And did you know that I actually asked when the design phase of different artwork and all that we should get our local artists who's right here in our great city, Western Avenue, mill number
Western
5.
Avenue is right across the canal from
That's correct. But imagine
Jackson.
getting those artists to be a part of the designing as far as artwork, what have you, inside this brand new courthouse. It will be a flagship that connect to our city. And I'm very excited about this.
Well, I'm very excited about it. What kind of courts are we going to have in the courthouse? Juvenile court is one?
Juvenile court, all of the Superior Court. So we're talking about a whole house. I believe there are all of the surrounding town will be coming to this centralized court that we have right here in the Hamilton Canal District. And the Hamilton Canal District is going to be quite a booming economic-wise for the city of Lowell. You're talking about 1,000 plus a day of foot traffic. So imagine the business for the restaurant and the coffee shop, the mom and pop operation. This is putting food on the table. I'm very excited about that.
I'm very excited about it too. It's a remarkable thing to have done. I'm especially pleased that you worked with Representative Nangle and Representative Golden and Senator Donahue on
And
this.
also the whole city council,
Right.
and our mayor and our city manager. It's wonderful because this is what it takes to get our city moving in the right direction, in a positive direction. And as you know, I am working very hard right now towards the Road Bridge. And this is in the forefront of what I wanted to happen. And between the city manager, the mayor, and the city councilor, they're all in support. And I am working very, very hard to connect with the Speaker of the House. And we had a wonderful meeting in bringing the Speaker of the House here to our great city. As a matter of fact, at Mount Pleasant, and we had the entire elected official, from the ambulance to the fire chief, the chief of police, the city manager, the mayor.
This was the meeting that you had on Thursday, a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, now what did the Speaker of the House say at this meeting?
When you have the chief of Chief Winwood expressing directly to the Speaker of the House, Mr. Speaker, I know that the bridge is sound and structure-wise. However, I have a fire truck that is 65 ton and the bridge is only rated for 45 ton. This is a public safety issue. When you have the ambulance,
So you can't get a fire
you
truck
cannot do that.
across.
Yes.
So they leave.
Now you know that it's a temporary bridge
Right.
for 33 years.
Right. Been
It's supposed to
temporary.
go up
It's
for 10
cost-
years.
It's cost us $1 million a year, so it's cost us $33 million, is from what I hear. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard.
Now, at the same time, Jim, there's also the economic structural component. It's really important here. We have Metrographic, which is just on the side of the river. They're bringing 1,000+ workers. Those workers need to come back to work, go home, as well as the Highlands folks that use that bridge and all the surrounding town. This is why I get the support from other representatives who are in the different town as well.
Okay.
Representative Asiero came to this meeting as well.
Oh, that's right, she did.
Yeah, Representative
He.
Jim Asiero.
Oh, Jim Arceo.
Yes.
Who's am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking of Barbara L'Italian.
Yes.
She's a senator, right?
Yes. And also you have the charter school that has just opened up again. That we're talking about bus, we're talking about parents that have to drive to pick up all the kids. And also there's plenty more complex that has just sprung up. So the traffic, as of right now, the bridge cannot be handled. And during heavy traffic time, there are no way that you can move aside for the fire or the ambulance to go through at all.
No.
That is a public safety.
That is definitely a public safety problem.
And we need it for the economic as well for our city and for the surrounding town.
Yeah, as you know, I've been sick with a certain disease for a while, and I went to the Leahy. And one of the reasons I went to the Leahy was because you can't get to the Lowell General Hospital on the Rourke Bridge, or on the Falls Bridge really either. And the Leahy was actually shorter.
Wow.
Going to the Leahy was a shorter drive. Yeah, there's something the matter with that.
Yeah, something wrong with that.
Yeah.
This is why I'm fighting very, very hard to make sure that this is in the forefront. Did you know that we were not even on the list? And I was so shocked to find that out. And this is why I took it personally as my endeavor to fight. And this is why I'm asking all of the support from the resident. When I knock door, they all come to tell me all the same thing, what you just expressed to me, that they are very concerned. Just last night, I met up with more of the residents that live in the Highland and the Acre, and it says, I was on the bridge, I can actually feel the bridge swaying.
Yes.
And she said, I got scared.
I go under the bridge with my boat.
Now, to be fair, bridge do meant to sway a little bit because that's how it give, by the way, so it is still safe. I just want to make sure that it's clear also.
Well, yeah, I didn't take swaying as being a bad thing, but I go under the bridge with my boat on occasion, and it sounds like the thing is going to fall apart from underneath, all the plates rattling and
Yes.
the
Every time
traffic.
you go on it, you can feel the rattling of the plate, the plate itself. Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, now, are you guys working on the design part of the bridge? Are you working on the entrance and exit ways
It is.
first, or you?
So the key here, Jim, is that there is a study which has the first component, which is done. However, the second component is called the environmental study. It is approximately $1.5 million.
Okay.
This is why I asked the Speaker of the House to support, and the fact that the Speaker of the House came up here and expressed his support in the Rourke Bridge. I am honored, and I have to congratulate all of our elected officials, from our mayor to the city manager Murphy, who spoke and did a wonderful presentation, to the fire chief, to the police chief, to the ambulance who talked. It is great to have that support directly. That what makes a difference. I can assure you, not one representative can make this happen, but when we all spoke, we will get it done. That's what I believe.
I was there, and I remember the crowd that was there, and I remember that I saw a lot of people I didn't know, which means that there's a great deal of support among the citizens for the bridge.
Yes.
And they crowded into the room and listened to the entire presentation.
Yes, I know. There's no more room.
There was no more room. I was on the outside of the curtain, listening in. But they crowded in, and I thought to myself, well, there's a lot of support for the project.
That's right.
And but the other project I'd like to get back to for a minute is the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how is Jackson Street going to look after the courthouse is completed?
Well, that is the Lord Overpass, which we have also got the money from Governor Baker already to do the Lord Overpass over. It is in the design phase. It is going to begin, so it's a two separate entities, how that come into play. This is why we have the traffic engineering, look at every angle, and more importantly, the citizen that uses the Jackson Street, uses the Rourke Bridge, and using the Lord Overpass. It is from the citizen himself that voice their opinion, and the design will fit to how we see fit. So that is what is so important. And I have to give credit to Richard Howe, who is our Registrar of Deeds,
Right.
and in bringing the crowd to the meeting. And that meeting was with the engineering department of the DPD, of the City of Lowell, Division Planning and Development. Great meeting, great turnout at the senior center. They all voiced their opinion and how they want the Lord Overpass to look. It is important.
Yeah.
When we, the citizen, have spoken up, and when we ask what we're looking for, that is important. That's why we have such a wonderful collaborative between our official and also the citizen. I really believe that.
Oh, I believe it too. That's another meeting that I crashed, and that one was very interesting. I remember the city manager was there, the city councilors, 3 or 4 city councilors were there, and I remember Corey Belanger was there, but I don't remember who else was there. And I just watched the entire presentation. The only thing I would question is, are we taking down the Lord Overpass and replacing it with bridges and traffic lights?
Well, again, Jim, as you know, that's not my expertise. And this is why I rely on the engineer, the traffic division, and of course the Department of Planning and Development to come up with the entire structural and traffic that makes it best suit our needs and the usage of our function of our entire city. So that I would have to rely on them. My job, again, as state representative, is to bring resource and to hear the concern of my constituent. And that's also a component. When I have my constituent call me up, they need simple things, such as, how do I get my water turned back on? I get so low pressure. I'm able to call and direct them to the right person that help them. That's my job also, besides bringing the resource back to our district.
Well, I was very pleased when you ran last time, and you said to me, I have 6.3 million constituents. 6.6 or
No,
6.3 constituents, and I thought, that's the first time I've ever heard anybody who is representing a district say, I'm responsible for what's going on in the state.
Well, yeah, in the whole state.
State, right?
Well,
So
yeah, in terms of the law, whatever that is taking place, or before I decided to vote on a law, I have to understand how does it affect all of us. And remember, we are a unit of all. And so therefore we have to think of all of our children, not just one component. Yes, I represent the 18th district, which is the Highland Acre. I'm definitely there for all of that. But at the same time, if the law were to come out, it does not just affect our backyard, it affects 6.6 million citizens. That is the entire Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So
Right.
that is the bigger picture.
It's an interesting way to look at the bigger picture. I have never heard of a representative, and I'm related to a few. I've never heard of a representative say that he was responsible for 6.6 million people, and that's the population of Massachusetts.
That's right.
So I was very impressed with that.
That's collaborative, working with the governor, working with senator, and of course my entire colleagues in the House. And what makes it possible.
Now you get along very well with the governor, right?
I do.
Yeah.
It's all about working relationship. It's all about bringing back, again, key word here, bringing back resource, such as this Thursday when the governor come in, and I have to give credit where credit's due. When we, the delegation, have spoken up, have asked, we receive. Same thing here. I'm going to rely on the governor to support in bringing the road bridge to the forefront. This is why it is a working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine having someone not having that relationship.
Right.
That would be detrimental to all of us
Right.
who need this and who need the component of working together. And it is the working relationship that allow me to do the work that I do.
Well, you had a very interesting party at your house over the weekend, and I got the chance to talk to City Councilor Belanger quite a bit, and he stated that that this governor has been as effective as anybody else that's been in the office, and that just because this governor's a Republican, you can't hold it against him, which is kind of what I hear from you when I talk to you about it.
I believe in working with all of us. The entire delegation, working with the governor, lieutenant governor. That's what makes our city so great.
Mm-hmm.
And we're such a melting pot that it is so positive in every twist and turn. Do I have a difficult day? Of course I do. That's the norm of it. But at the end of the day, I am very, very excited for our city and of course my district, what we're doing. When I hear the report from the chief of police saying that crime had dropped by 45%, I am so excited. Now, I would love to hear it is zero,
Right.
but we are working on that. This is why I believe in my constituent. I believe in the work that our city councilor and our city manager, who's doing a great job, and our mayor, that I have great relationship with all of them. That's my job, is to do all of that.
The other thing that interests me that you did, although it hasn't come out of committee yet, or it has come out of committee, but it hasn't come out of the Senate committee yet, is the felony status for somebody who shoots into a building.
Yes.
Okay, how's that one coming?
It is, I'm happy to report as being a first-term legislator to get it a voice vote, unanimous from the House. That's incredible. And I have to relay this back to the working ethic that I have, the respect that I have gained already from all of my colleagues, including the Speaker of the House, the Majority Leader, who is such a big supporter, and all of the chairmen that helped, Chairman Golden, Chairman Nangle, and including Senator Donahue. Now we came, so as of right now, it is in the Senate, and I will still continue to make that a go. It is important. When you have, this is not just a drive-by. This is intent to shoot, to harm.
Right.
As you know, over 19 shelling fired into a home that missed a baby by an inch. A woman was critically ill. Lucky she survived. I don't want to see
This
this.
is the woman who's lying in bed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we feel safe in our own home. It is not right to not feel safe in our own home, one way or the other.
I believe that it should be a felony. I do have to tell you that I did interview your Republican candidate, challenger, and he told me that it wasn't a problem. And
Well, I would have to say that without knowing, and again, one is that I'm working and I'm already in this position. I am your state representative, so
Right.
therefore I work with District Attorney Mary Ryan. I work with our Chief of Police, with all of the officer, the city manager. This is a big difference between doing the work and just expressing something. Oh, by the way, when you just came in and you haven't been here in 20 years, so therefore there must be a missing link here to that event. So again, I don't know what his motive is, but
well, he was remarking that what happens if you shoot a gun accidentally while cleaning it in the basement.
well, this is why we have law.
Right,
This is
and-
why
and
there
that's
is
not-
specific. Yes.
It's not.
No.
It's not specifically what your bill is addressing.
No.
No.
Talking about a perpetrator who drive and shoot and aim to harm, to kill,
Somebody.
to intent to threat. This is totally different. This is totally different. And as of right now, it is only a misdemeanor. That's wrong. Yeah.
The so this would affect gang members,
Yes.
and hopefully you make them think twice before doing something stupid.
That's right.
That's good. Okay. The reason I brought up the Lord Overpass is because it looks on the drawing that I've seen like the Lord Overpass will be gone and will be replaced by traffic signals. And we have something like 80,000 people using that between the morning commute and the evening commute, using those lights.
Yes.
And that's going to be very difficult it seems to me, to regulate.
This is why, Jim, I express again that we, as a city and as all of the citizens that live here, we rely on expertise of the traffic division, the engineering, that they have to look at the whole component. It's not something we just throw up and hope it worked. This is why it's important for us to ask questions and to give input in what we see fit. That is the key component to how this will work.
Okay, and so I asked you a question about the courthouse. I'm excited about the courthouse because what I see is a series of brand new buildings built to look like old buildings, probably.
The courthouse itself, Jim, will be one of the most green, efficient building. I would have to say that I know for a fact in our city, the city of Lowell, but there are much more into it as well, utilizing the beautiful lighting. All natural lighting will be coming into the courthouse. It is a first of its kind that will be designed. I'm very excited, and again, the finishing phase is 2019. So I'm very excited about this.
Finishing phase is 2019.
Yes.
That's very good. If it goes up in 3 years, I would say that's a huge success.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't told me a little bit about your family. Your son is named.
He's in high school.
Well, you told me about that, but I heard he golfs.
He golfs. He played for the Lowell High School.
Golfing.
And he's gymnastic, pole vault, track and field. Joey is an amazing kid, and all of my kids are. They are just so amazing, and I'm very, very fortunate to have such a wonderful family. And my wife, Rady, who worked very, very hard to make sure that I'm able to do what I do, and that is to do my best to work for our constituent, and I'm very, very honored to represent the district to the best of my ability.
I think this is the best district in the state, so
I would have to agree with you.
I'm a little biased as far as that's concerned, but I think this is the best district in the state. And I wanted to ask you about the university / city combination. What I was a little upset this morning to read that the pharmacy deal was off the table, according to Jacqueline Maloney.
Believe it or not, Jim, I'm actually going to meet with Chancellor Maloney in about half hour or so after leaving here with our city manager, and that is the connection we're trying to work and bring the best that we can to the city of Lowell. And the UMass of Lowell has been a great partner to our city, and like anything else, it's all about funding. Would I love to see the pharmacy school right here? I would love that. I think that's just wonderful, but we'll see. We'll have to see what works, what does not work, and that's the component.
I was really excited about the pharmacy, and I remember talking to Chancellor Meehan when he was here about it, and he said, "Well, Jim, it's going to happen." And then, as I said, I was a little disappointed this morning to read that it's not going to happen, or at least that's what the newspaper's take on it. I'm hoping that it happens. So
we'll keep our finger crossed.
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed. That's true. I'd like to thank you for being on the show, and I always enjoy having you here, so feel free to drop by anytime.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here, and I love being here, and I love having time to connect to, again, all of the folks and all of the constituents. It's an honor to speak and send some message to you. Again, I'm here in the district every morning. If you want to see me right off the bat, the Donut Shack, I'm always there, bright and early. Please come by, and if in any way connect through me, just give me a phone call. I'll be right there to see you and meet them. No, and thank you for having me.
Well, it's fine. I wondered why the Donut Shack owner was at your party. Now I know.
He's a wonderful friend.
He's a good friend, yeah.
Thank you so much.
So, well, say hello to Eric tomorrow for me. That's great. Okay, this has been Peters Principles. I'm Jim Peters, and have a good day.